Hello and welcome to another coaching video. In this one we have a silver AMUMU silver 4, so basically we've got a little bit of the bronze low elo silver range going on here against a Warwick, always going lethal tempo. Listen guys, go PTA, stop trying to ego with lethal tempo. You're not a top laner. PTA is better for your amp damage, it's better for your burst proc. You don't need to ego invade randomly until you've gotten the basics down, and the basics are, see the 3-2-1 jungle rule that's going to go up on my channel hopefully shortly, within a few days after you see this, about ganking properly. And then of course when you're in AMUMU here, we want to sequence well and have a good time doing so, because this champion is very strong. And in the best jungles to carry video that I had, as we see this deep vision over here, I put AMUMU for low elo because he is not really a quote-unquote tank anymore. And you'll see here with the aftershock, don't go this. Just don't go aftershock in the jungle. Go conquer every single time. The stacking, the healing, the last stand, the tenacity, everything is so much better when you have this ultimate hunter. If you want to have the ultimate hunter here on your secondary rune set, we have here aftershock, font of life, bone plating. We have here the unflinching, ultimate hunter plus cheap shot. Now if we keep the cheap shot plus the ultimate hunter, right, and instead you just go Conqueror, you're going to do a lot more damage while just being equally as tanky. You are struggling to get out of silver into that gold elo. You watch these videos, you understand it, but you cannot apply it to your own jungling. Head to Virkayu.gg and have a look at these silver cores. Should be released in the upcoming weeks. Make sure you get your pre-order discount now. Otherwise, have a look at the one-on-one coaching options to condense 100 hours of watch time on YouTube into a single session tailored for your specific needs. Virkayu.gg has everything you need to get out of low elo into gold and beyond. So rune set and builds are typically would hold back low elo because you're not optimizing your champion appropriately. I just wanted to see this again here because the Tristana is able to not quite kill the Kai'Sa because she thought the order was going to do it. Pantheon's able to kill the Tristana. And now as the AMUMU, you're looking at this and you're like, well, hey, maybe I can do something about it. And I do agree to a certain level, but look at the wave, look at the positioning. For me, it would be much better to kind of go, look, she's most likely dead here. Let me just do my Grump Blue. I know it's a heads down play, but I think when you're low elo, it's very important to kind of understand, hey, can I rotate and get kills or can I not? Now, if we're able to hit a Q into we just Q the minion, right? So basically what we're trying to play around here is that the Kai'Sa had to base. So who's the easiest to kill here objectively? Not the Pantheon, but the Kai'Sa. Pantheon also still has flash. And if we're paying attention to this while we're clearing, we would know the Pantheon still has flash. So why would I go gank something that has flash that can turn it on me with a fat wave that I can't even Q through? Better to finish my Grump, Wolf's Grump, hit the blue. Now look, wait for Kai'Sa to come back, because either Pantheon bases and leaves her by herself, or he stays out. Now he's compromised, Luna's compromised, but it's a 3v2 with Ezreal coming back, sorry, Tristana coming back, and Kai'Sa coming back with no summoner spells. Now even if we get a kill here, that's what I would be thinking of in real time. I know it's not always something I say. I always say, guys, cut the map, rotate to the kill, reactively path. Yes, but reactively path when the kill is guaranteed, not because we think, hey, we might, look, the Warwick. We're going to look at this in a second. From the Warwick's perspective here. At least if the Leona goes back in, the Q will go through, at least it brings us to the target. But now we're stacking in the minion waves. We're getting chunked by the Kai'Sa. The Pantheon is basically, I think, just doing typings or whatever. We get a free kill because of it. We will die. Imagine Conqueror healing going through, Conqueror damage going through, everything going through there. Because once your aftershock is procced, it's done. Right? If you miss your Q, it's done. The aftershock is conditional on you actually hitting stuns on champions. And if they don't focus you, right, while you're doing that, you're losing it. So let's have a look here quickly what the Warwick does. So he obviously starts on the red. Now he goes up and he does, like, if you're gonna do this, guys, just do Grump. Do Grump because you're gonna get level 3, and if you need to react for level 3 ganks like the AMUMU did, you know that you have sequencing for the Wolves and the Grump. They're gonna respawn in 2 minutes 15. You can fall back to the blue, snack that, and then flex into the rest of your map, okay? This way, if you're 3 and now you need to rotate, you can do something. But at the same time, we're not 3. You see, if you're 3, you can rotate. If you're not 3, you can't rotate because we're not in fear. We're useless. So the Grump gives us 3 should we need to rotate. If someone's going to invade us, it gives us 3 so we can actually fight the fight. If Kindred goes and invades us here onto this Grump and we're level 2, what are you going to do about it? Now, I don't think a low elo Kindred's going to invade you there. They should. And the Kindreds I coach, I teach, and I say to do this. So the Warwick basically just does this. Go Warwick, go Warwick, go Warwick across the map. Hey! It's just so dumb. So, in this particular case, the Warwick works for you and against you, and the AMUMU does well to get some kills, but I don't know why he's just crossing the map entirely to make this play. So, the AMUMU now is severely compromised. The AMUMU, yes, got a few more CSs here, and has extra CS lead, but both of you have done 4 camps. You're full clearing scaling jungle that's just going to dominate team fights. You know it's going to happen. Full clear down, react to the gank afterwards, get the free kill on the Kai'Sa, take your scuttle, look for the mid lane, that's your 1 gank bottom lane, 1 gank mid lane, right? And then of course, can I do this top scuttle? No, Warwick took it, alright, then I'll go back to base, and then I'll resequence again. Maybe before I sequence, I'll gank top lane. So now we're going to go into the bottom side. Warwick happens to be level 4 because he took his Krugs, but he hasn't reset. You have Blasting One, he hasn't reset. So in theory, this is a fight we could take, but we don't have prior. So why are we not giving this up? There is no reason for us to do this. Now, I don't care if we get kills. I don't care if we get kills here, because you're trusting that your team will rotate. Now, I know everyone goes, yeah, look, but we got the kills. No, look at the map. Look at the map here. Okay? We're going to go for this here. She can, in theory, cut in, but Pantheon's the MIA. He's already left. We're down a level, but we have item advantage. If you can win this fight, go for it. 100%, you want to go for this. And with Conqueror, you do and can win these fights pretty damn easily, especially with Blasting One. But the Pantheon here cutting through is the issue. So as soon as you see the Pantheon, I'm like, well, okay, bye. I would just go to my Gromp. You know, I don't want to force a fight with my laners who might not rotate. We hang around too long. And guess what? If your laners didn't rotate, which is what you guys complain about all the time, we die. We die or we just compromise, we have to go back to base again. So fortunately, our bottom lane do rotate. They bail us out a little bit. We get the kill on the Warwick and we get the scuttle. That is nice. But if they didn't rotate, what would happen? You see, so just do those calculations in your head. Here we definitely, once that does happen, we could have definitely stuck with them and killed the bottom lane. But in this particular moment, we choose not to. So Conqueror, a little bit heads up about the plays there. Definitely nice of your bottom lane to rotate. They should, right? They should, and they did, and it worked. But would this happen most of the time in Silver? From what I'm told, no. So decide how you want to play around it. But overall, nice, right? Good rotation bottom lane, get a gank. A little bit of a fisting in the bottom side river. Warwick goes bottom side, stays out, so we're Blasting One advantage. Cool. That's why we want the Conqueror, right? Adaptive damage, healing, tenacity, all the good stuff. Okay, so now we do have Orianna level 6. We are level 4, and that's the issue, right? When you play like this without thinking about these little things, you end up 2 levels down in solo laners, and you cannot effectively gank it properly. So at this particular moment, the Warwick has most likely got his Tiamat. I would anticipate he goes top side in how he should be playing. Like he could go Raptors top, or he could just go top bottom, or he could go top gank. Who knows particularly at this point what he's going to do. So we'll reconcile that randomness when we see him, okay? We know basically he dies, gets +4 CS over with his Raptor camp there. Does he now show bottom lane for the gank, or does he show top lane somewhere else? We'll see, right? In the meantime, though, I don't like our lack of sequencing. The Ryze is super low. The Orianna uses her ultimate. She gets the auto attack off. We're going to go for this now after she's used that ultimate here. Now, we missed the first Q. We're looking at the map the whole time. We hit the next Q. Very, very good. Where's the Warwick? Okay, he's actually bottom lane, so we can stick with this. The Ryze has nothing, though. He doesn't have damage. We're taking the minion wave as well. A lot of minion damage coming through, and it's an Orianna. She has phase... Oh, she has Airy. I had a phase rush Orianna the other day in coaching. Was very, very difficult to deal with. The Warwick shows up down here. He sees you go up. The Garen rotates down. 99% the guy will probably look for the dragon, like dragon or blue side. Where is he actually? Yeah, he went for it. Sorry, red side. He went for his red side actually instead of the dragon. He saw us go up, and he knows Ryze is basing. So in theory, he had total prior to solo that because he's level 4, right? Because he's level 4, he can't. So he's in the same. He's in the same breadbasket. Hey, Garen. This Garen knows how to boil water. So now we fall back to the top side. So, yeah, it's very, very simple. All clear. React only if the risk of missing out on your sequencing is worth a guaranteed kill. We chose to not make that decision. Compromise our sequencing. Our 6 is at 724, which isn't abysmal, but at the same time, it should be better. We get lucky here with the rotation from our team. We get unlucky and lucky in the bottom lane here with at least 1 kill because Pantheon started typing. And I do think we should have the Conqueror. So now Warwick is basically like, yep, look at this. Look at this waffling. He has no purpose. He is not tracking your clears. Why is he walking into this? He is not thinking about these things whatsoever. This is absolute coin flip jungling. No attention is being paid. So if you're the AMUMU here and you see this movement, this gives you two decisions to make. Do I go to the bottom side and just gank that lane again? I have 6, he doesn't. Therefore, I win. Or do I go top side, try gank top lane and get the Herald? I think I would have preferred to see a more level 6 bottom lane thing because that's the meta, right? We know the Warwick is waffling. We know there's no camps out on the bottom side. We know we can just go straight down with our ultimate, counter gank free ult. Should be some kills for us. Decide. Alternatively, we can do this, but we're not Graves. So it's not the worst decision in the world. It's the less fisting decision that we could make. But again, being farming, as a jungler in this elo is always good. Being a farming jungler, sequencing, counter jungling, stealer in the camps, +4 for me, -4 for you, +1 treat for me, -1 treat for you. You get those break-even points significantly faster. So now obviously they're going to move up here and take the dragon. If he decides to go here afterwards, you're going to get counter jungle, so we've instigated some sense of vertical. You could have just gone straight for the herald if we had vision control, I think. That is something we could have considered going straight for, but I kind of like the idea of, hey, outside in rule, take the camps outermost away from me. I would hit this and hit that, take those plants away. We're going to take this. The downside is here is the warrior could very easily reset and come and contest the herald now. So you have to reconcile the outside in rule with back timings. But at the same time, if you don't do the herald, don't do the herald. But now we've, of course, shown Warwick at this particular moment. We're scanning. I am worried about me showing. I wouldn't do it now. I wouldn't do it now. Wouldn't do it now. Once you walk in a ward and you showcase I might be going for this objective and you have no top prior and Warwick's rotating, hit the plant, hit the plant. So here, hit the plant. Let him know that you see him. But at the same time, go this way. You're putting yourself in a situation where you're going to be collapsed upon. And we see this, right? So it's better to hit the plant and then kind of run away. Q to the raptors. Hit the plant, Q to the raptors, detach. Take the plant away so that they can't see you when they're chasing you. Now, of course, we're moving. Warwick will have his ultimate, obviously. He was 5 when we saw him bottom lane, so once he's done the dragon, he will be 6 at this particular moment. And we saw he was 6. We get flash hooked, we get feared, we get ultimate, we get dunked. We will bleed. Do we die? Or do we survive? We live. Aftershock Gaming. Aftershock comes out ahead. 1 point for Aftershock. But it's a support rune. Garen does this. Be very, very careful here. Orion, no. The ball. Don't go back in. So people always say, like, you know, if my team makes a bad decision and their team makes a bad decision, should I just go with my team making the bad decision? No, right? If your team goes in and dies like a bunch of idiots and you're alive and can say, do a whole sequence. Like, say your team takes a terrible fight here and they all die. And I could do an entire sequence in the meantime. Then they respawn and I'm with them. Now I'm 6 camps stronger the next time we fight. Oriana, Rise, Gaming. As you'd expect in the mid lane, Mage, Gap. So the Warwick obviously steals our Krugs. You might go for this. We don't know if he's going to. There he is. Obviously the plant is gone, so he won't be sneaking away. You could have actually snuck down here against the wall into the pit. So in theory, he could have been on it, but I don't think a bronze/silver Warwick is going to be doing that. So we're going to basically say, look, the Warwick has some base, he only has Tiamat, I have Demonics, Embrace, there's no way in hell you can test this. This is sound logic, let's go ahead and do it. All right? All these are the little things that we're tracking the whole time. Not looking about lanes too much, right? I'm looking about the jungle 1v1 because if I can prevent bad plays or whatever, then we'll be fine. So Oriana has prime mid lane. We snack this away, very, very nice. Darius is in the top lane. We do not have ultimate, excuse me. He moves down to ward. Turn off your toggle. We're toggling. There we go. Warwick now shows up again over a ward. See, now we're just fisting. Like, why are we sitting in the bush? Once the Darius hooks down, we know it's warded. Once the Darius hooks down here, we 100% know he's warded. There's no reason ever to sit in the bush. I know we have Herald, so if you don't have a control ward, you never sit in the bush. If you don't have a control ward, don't sit in the bush. End of story. What's going to happen in this elo, and in bronze and in general low elo principles, is they see you on a ward, they have nothing else in their mind other than I need to rotate and kill you. That's it. They don't think about it. A higher elo jungler, or like, for example, the AMUMU did a good job, decided, hey, I don't want to gank bottom lane. I prefer to think about these things, right? I'm going to counter jungle you instead. Now, with Warwick really waffling here, I think we probably should have just taken this while we had laner presence. There is, of course, risk if you don't scan and control ward, so, you know, their lanes could collapse and so on, but we do have numbers advantage in theory. The outside rules are safer play here. But what we would want to do afterwards is take this stuff, recognize, hey, Warwick showed up, fine. See ya, I'm going to do Raptors, I'm going to do Krugs, and if they go for it and Rise is Pride, now we can fist and fight it. But sometimes you might just have to give it up. You might just literally have to give up this Herald because you chose to counter jungle instead of taking the Herald while we knew where he was. So we could have taken it and then moved into the jungle and stolen maybe one camp. Maybe we get nothing, but I think here the objective would take precedence. So it's a min-max kind of situation. What do you feel like going for? But now there's no reason for us to be sitting in the bush. We know the Darius warded. We don't have ultimate. We're going to get hooked. We are straight up, in theory, maybe, let's see, should be dying. We should be dying. Okay, we die. If we didn't die, I'd be very surprised. The Warwick's but you're dead. No, Garen, you could have. Garen decides no. Okay, Oriana again, Giga Prior. Now I've played with an Oriana main before. a good Orianna main. And I never seen him rotate this much. It's like, I just want to chill and farm until 11. I'm like, but I'm volley, bro. We're duo. Like, I need to do stuff. I want to dive. Ball me, man. Ball me. Let's go. And he's like, no, 11. I was like, all right. And then give up crabs, give up dragons. I'm like, but I want to. So this is very good for me. If you're a good Orianna, you can very easily have prior and rotate. There are some Oriannas which played like a Nivea super passive, so depends which one you get on your team. We do have ultimate now. We do have Herald now. We see this is warded. Like, we're walking through a bush that's pinged on the map that's warded. This has happened multiple times where we've revealed ourselves unnecessarily, and we will die for it. You see? So this here is a bit of waffling ourselves. Like, we see 2 top lane, right? I know we're seen here, and I know we want to use the Herald, but we have 90 seconds. Let's just go try and gank bottom lane. And I think we missed the opportunity to snowball our bottom lane heavily into a dragon play, which would have allowed us to swap and then take the Herald. So we've missed those things. And as a low elo jungler, keep it simple. Sequence, scuttle, or gank, and then scuttle. Mid lane, yay or nay, cool, back to base. Can I gank top lane? No, right, quadrant. Can I gank mid lane? Yes, okay, I gank it. No, okay, I do my quadrant, and then I gank bottom lane. Do I need to cut in for a dragon fight potentially? Then I'll do it. Otherwise, I'm going to sequence all the way and gank bottom lane again. If I do the quadrant and I gank mid lane, cool, thumbs up. Is there a scuttle? RNG? Cool. Otherwise, can I gank bottom lane? Yes? All right, I gank bottom lane. Then I fall back to my blue side, or the dragon. And that's your first 2 rotations. That's your decision tree. The same if you're blue side or red side, because you're just going to sequence down anyway. The top laner gets the benefit of you looking for a gank at one moment, 5 minutes to 5 minutes 30. That's it. Rest of the time, you're playing around bot and mid. Always. Don't feel the need to always react to your teammate's stupid plays. Because if you can farm and sequence and do that, you will be 30 CS up and you will have the experience advantage. I think we were too too aggressive with that particular Herald over there. And now our bottom lane is in a little bit of a pickle because they have, let's see, 4.5 to 5.1, which you think, hey, that's not so far behind. And I'm like, well, give ADCs who don't kite and just standard auto attack each other 600 extra gold. Extra long swords, a completed item. Like, Kai says completed Kraken, we don't. That's what you have right now because of that. So think about it. Here again, we've fallen back to our blue side. You know, where is the Warwick? There's a dragon coming up. Do we want to wait for the fight? And so on. In this particular case, with ult up, I want to play around my ultimate. More so than the camps, right? No way. There's the Warwick. See, now we're going for this fight. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go! Let's go! Zigify! There we go. Okay. Too hesitant on the gank. We'll get the benefit of it, but now we're counter ganking instead of actually just straight up proactively ganking. We are at the same level as a Warwick with 59 CS. We have 84. So the farming has been good, right? Like, we have the CS advantage. We have done a good job. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. So compliments on the ability to counter jungle and at least get camps reasonably well. Now, from my perspective, we should be at 90 plus. Now imagine if you're 90 plus, almost 50 CS lead over a jungler in low elo. Insane, right? Absolutely insane the advantages you can get. Once more, Orianna rotates. Nothing you can do about that. Hey, free dragon because everybody's dead. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Quickly, because your bottom lane needs to reset afterwards and they want to catch the next wave. Orianna might try and ball over the wall. Make sure we hit the smite. Yes, we do. We do get ulted. Pantheon ults in. See, we were too slow with that. Should have done it, pulled it out, and left. Everyone should have done it, pulled that out, and left. You don't want to die for this. We talked about this in the last low elo dragon thing. Snack it, get out. End of the story. No hesitation, and you avoid the entire scenario. Every time. Every time. Kill the warrior, go for it, pull it out, do it, leave. If you don't, you're in trouble. If your bottom lane really needs to reset and you really need to reset, then reset and come and contest it afterwards. Flex at A and B. Usually in this case, my champion pool, I'm going to be honest with you. You might say, look, everyone needs to reset, we'll do it afterwards. But I kind of like just snacking it very, very quickly as a team and then leaving. Because if they waste resources probing, it still gives the bottom lane enough time to get down to the turret here, and there's no more plates, right? There's no more plates to be given up. That's the critical thing. But maybe I'm being too greedy too. Maybe we just set a base and then contest it afterwards. But depends on your game state, depends on the timing, obviously. There's never sort of one categorical best decision. And we don't know results based on by saying, hey, look, we died. They're allowed to make plays and use vision. So if we were not seen doing that and snuck it away, it's okay. Okay. High elo Karthus mains use the Scuttle Crab for Q practice. Because that thing dodges better than Challenger players. It is a monster dodger. Everyone knows it. Now, of course, we are 2-4-2. We've gone for the Sulk Boots, which I think is an absolutely critical mistake. We 100% want Mercury Treads this game. The Magic Resist for the Warwick, the Magic Resist for the Orianna, but we go in here. Healing, and we die. Conqueror would do way more here than the Aftershock. Every single time. The Conqueror Drain does a lot of work. So here is just a case of us reacting, and now we're not ahead enough. The Warwick has gone plated steel caps. Why, Sir Warwick, did you go plated steel caps? Is it because only Tristana and Garen will be hitting? Who are you attacking, Mr. Warwick? Most likely, you're actually going to be hitting a lot the Rise and the AMUMU. Also, you should remember that it's not just about the auto attacks. You're going to be stunned for about 2,000 years. Let's have a look here, actually. His runes. He doesn't even have Legend Tenacity. He went with Alacrity, which is, of course, the Chad way to play the Wick. He has a regular rune set. You need the Mercury Chads, man. Leona, AMUMU, Rise. You need the Merc Treads. You can always go Thormail, Frozen Heart, Froststrike, Iceborne Gauntlet is what he really should be going as his. You should be going Iceborne Gauntlet to maximize that armor resist. Oof, no, Mercury Treads. Same thing for AMUMU here. We've got the Orianna, the Magic Resist, we've got the stuns from the Warwick, the Fields from the Warwick. Just go Mercury Treads, right? Just do it. There's no reason to go Sulk Boots here. Now, obviously, in this particular case, what you're seeing is we've entered the stage of the game where the low elo coin flip positioning happens. People are just going to run around fighting no matter what. So we have to maximize either our fighting gaming or our sequencing gaming. If I'm really far behind and I'm a farming jungler here, I'm just going boom, boom, cut. Take this shadow, fight anyone who shows up, right? Dead. But Garen does the work here. Instead, we've gone all the way out. So this is where it gets interesting. Because everyone's like, yeah, but you say go outside first. Yeah, but at the same time, now we've entered a different phase of the game. Like, if you're going to run straight across the entire map for a Gromp, that's a waste of time. The point of the rule is in the early phase when we have turrets and this guy's down here, we can maybe gank top lane, take this, and then fall back to the red side and then repeat gank it. That's the idea. But if we're just leaving early game, it's like I'm taking one Gromp for a camp I don't even know. Like, we don't know this is up. This is just randomly, I'm going to walk in your jungle. In the meantime, we should have just done this, seen this, go, oh, okay, cool, that's a free, I can shadow this guy now. Because in this phase of the game, when Garen's up here, when your mid lane is up here, and you just go super deep into the fog of war, if they see you, you're dead, and you got nothing for it. So in this particular case, the rule now shifts. In the early game, yes, outside the rule, but you saw the huge amount of adjusting we have to do for this rule, and in terms of contextualizing it to what we want to do. There's no sort of copy-paste, do it every time. Assess the risk factor. See the previous video from Platinum. Even if you're low elo, watch the previous video on risk assessment, because it's so important. We just ran out of base into the Gromp. Whereas we could have done Frogs, Red, Raptors. I know it's not perfect sequencing, but I don't want spaghetti. I just want to go quickly as possible. Can I cut into the mid? Can I cut into this? Oh, 3 bot lane. Cool, that's a free Herald. I'll shadow this guy as well. Nothing needed for us to do. Cool, we'll fall back to this. So hopefully you can see the differences between the outside rule and the early game and now, because obviously we've left base, fallen back in the loop, and now we're going here again. It's a bit spaghetti. So the Darius has shown top lane, the Warwick shows top lane, we're level 10, he's level 10. And at this particular phase of the game, you're like, well, what should I be doing as an off-meta jungler, or sorry, as a low elo jungler to ensure I can win the game when the enemy laners and junglers have leads over me? Rise ulting. Darius out of position. AMUMU gap closing. We have a Q. We hit the Q. We've got the E here. Obviously, remember, you got the true damage. You've got the E cooldown as they attack you. That comes up again faster. We have the max percentage damage. Really huge overall. Strong kit. Let's see. Now, this for me is not a good activation, even if we get a lot, because we have no mana and we need to go back to base. We've got 1,600 cash money pocket. I know we've got a good push here, but Warwick's up on 1. Darius is up and there's a dragon spawning. I'd much rather use that Herald next phase to offset pressure down here or here, such that I can get the dragon for free. I'd rather trade that, because they can push this themselves. We're wasting the Herald on a tower that's 100% dead with auto attacks. We're not going to be able to get any further than this with the second Herald. It's better spent using it here or here to force them to react to defend so that we get a free objective, and then we can move into their jungle. And of course, we have no mana. Oh, I mean, we go back into the jungle and get some mana, but let's see what we get. I mean, also the Kai'Sa split pushing, so we wasted that charge. That was dead anyway. Now we're moving here. I mean, if anything, if you had to use it now, you would use it here. But Darius is up in 7. Let's have a look here. See? You're not going to get much for it, if anything. Now your team, because of the Herald, is forced to overcommit. We force this overcommit. Actually, we do get another one because they're just going to kill our team in the meantime. But that's not what we want, right? Now we're doing this while our team overcommits here. You want to get to this phase. If you are 3-5-3, if you are having a losing KDA, if you're not like at least 5-1-10 or something super huge, our early game was messy. Our early game was reacting too quickly. Our early game was not fluid at all. So hopefully you can see a little bit about how that works, because now, obviously, watch this. Kai'Sa's just splitting. So she gets a tier 2, all of that. We base too late. Our team stays out too long. They get killed all because we distracted them with a Herald. Now we're by ourselves. They're going to get a free Herald. If they were intelligent, they would go straight for the Baron now. With the Kai'Sa, straight to the Baron. Every single time. Try and do it. And obviously, if you guys show up, I would just 3v5 it. As a blue team, I would just 3v5 it. But they don't. They just go and take a turret, which is fine. I mean, that's the safer play. There's less coin flip involved, and obviously there's no real macro necessary. Tone of our toggle here. I don't. It doesn't really matter, right? Too much when you have blue buff, but 8 mana per second, you know? It's about efficiency and about sending a message of efficiency. So now basically what's happened is we had to give all of this up. We forced them here, they died. We didn't really maximize the value. We left them here because they saw this, so they pushed and then they died. We fell back to this, which is great, but then we had to leave and give up the dragon because we didn't base in time. We didn't ping the dragon timer. Then we did a full sequence, which I'll say, good job, nice campings, nice farmings. And now Darius is out of position here, so we can chase him down. But the whole point is, at this particular moment in the game, I'll give you an example. Last night I played a game. We lost it. Straight up, we lost it. I played very well in the early game. Late game, it was just one of those games that you lose. Typically, I'll acknowledge when I play like ass and I play badly. Even in the videos that feature me on my main channel, I just say, this was a stupid play. Or I missed the spell, right? It happens. Nice pick on the top laner straight into the Baron, though. I like this. And, you know, I was 3 levels ahead of Asilas. 3 levels ahead of Asilas. He did nothing, took him out of the game, okay? And we reached this phase of the game, and I had the best opportunity to make these fights, to try my best to carry the game. Now, in another game where my team were a little bit better, or like we were a bit more on the same page, maybe my impact was a bit better in the lanes, probably on me there, actually, then we'll go ahead and we'll win that game, right? But the point was I was as strong as possible to take the fight. So I know that when we lose the game, it's not because I got out-jungled, it's not because I was behind, I had a 3-level lead, I had the ability to try and carry the game, and that's what you want to do. If you reach this phase of the game and you have a losing KDA, you're equal, you're down, it's not ideal, right? Especially in low elo, you want to be ahead. Here we're just super giga slow. We use our ultimate, the ward goes way too deep, we kill him, nicely done, team plays off of that. He goes in on the AMUMU, we get the kill here, we're getting our E cooldown refresh, obviously we're having a stacking resistances on that. We sit there, we absorb, we aftershock, we ultimate, our team chases down, we get the kills. Leona misses the Zenith Blade, and Orianna will just say bye-bye and sprints away. And now we can push this. So, good Baron snack after the pick. Good tanking there, obviously. We have now some multiple items here. Decent farming cadence, actually. I think for this elo, if you're getting this kind of farm, you will always find yourself getting fed. Just be a lot more intelligent. Not intelligent. Be a lot more patient about your fights overall, okay? Think the risk factors about where I need to be and why I need to be. And I think typically you'll end up having the same CS plus, say, 20 to 30 and taking better fights. And don't feel the need to always react to terrible fights. If your team are going to die, don't die with them for no reason. Because you being alive allows you to farm and sequence and keep gold coming as necessary. So we take the inhib and then literally nothing happens. We farm down. Our team for once actually groups up, low elo things, right? When everyone starts grouping, this is when AMUMU is king. We're only 1 level up on the Warwick. I think if you're in silver bronze, you always want to be at least 2 levels up to showcase improvement. Inhib down. Garen top. Darius dead. The boiling water crew up here. Whoever knows the temperature in Celsius wins. That's a meme. Back when we had clubs on the servers, if you remember this, there were clubs you could kind of join and have a tag. There was a Virkayu group NA and the Virkayu group, as we coin flipped this and we smited, and they should all die. I mean, why would you contest this if you're blue team? Just give it up and wave clear. You've got supers coming down mid lane, streamlining. Whatever, they'll lose the game from this. So, there was a guy who was in the Virkayu club on NA, I think he was silver at the time. They go into champ select, Garen flames him, right, for his pick, post-game, for whatever reason. And the response was, you play Garen, you don't even know how to boil water, and it became a huge meme on League of Memes, the subreddit, and everything like that. And there's this guy with the Virkayu tag next to it spreading in the memes. So that's, in my Discord, we know the Garen is the boiling water crew. Darius is not much different. So, good win. Good overall presence, good sequencing, but again, only 50% KP overall, 667, too many deaths. Runes, definitely Conqueror, my friends. and the randomness of the Warwick really wasn't a factor. I mean, he didn't really do anything. He itemized wrongly as well. So think about those things. Hopefully it helps. I know it's a bit messy in low elo, but if you have good guidelines and good practices, you'll typically find yourself coming out ahead. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I will see you all in the next coaching.